Just
You
elaborate
talking
on that.
about you talk about when it was the great planet Tiamat before the
Tiamat.
arrival of the moon. That's what you're talking about. That's that's not the war. That's the incursion when they first came and they couldn't navigate through the what they call the atmosphere. They couldn't navigate through the solar system because they didn't know the plotting of the planets in their first arrival. That was the signal of their first arrival in the record. Right.
But it was Nibiru up under Marduk though, right?
Right. So what happened, he wasn't under Marduk at that time. It was under Anu rule. But Enki's son Marduk was told by Enki to go secure Nibiru when Enlil launched his Earth attack.
Yeah.
When Enlil launched his Earth attack, Anu is on Earth. That's why he waited for Anu to make the visit to stop the war between Enki and Enlil. And when he got down here, that's when Enlil launched the largest attack on all of Enki's installments or bases. When he did that, Enki told his son Marduk secure Nibiru. The only way they would know if it was secured, when the message came back, Nibiru is now called Marduk. Right? That means Nibiru is secure from the war that's taking place on Earth. And then right behind this is when the formation of the Galactic Council was formed because the war on Earth began to affect other places. And they say, until y'all figure it out, y'all stay in this enclosure. We're going to put y'all in this Pleiadian light lock with the Arcturian support. So nobody can leave until y'all resolve the matter, which was the Anunnaki war on Earth. It was the war in heaven biblically that landed on Earth. Right? Because if you go to the Bible, it tell you there was a war in heaven. And it say, and Satan and his angels fought against Michael and his angels, and Michael and his angels cast Satan to the earth. Right? So the war in heaven landed on earth. It didn't mean the war stopped. It just means that it came to earth.
All right. No, that's enough, Mr. Williams. We got to move on. Nazarene, let's go. Talk to us.
Thank you. Hey, man, salute, brother Rod. Love what you do, man.
Appreciate it.
Real quick, is it a portal in the Grand Canyon? And what is a good technique, to really know who you are? If you can answer that for me.
It is a Stargate. All of the temples, it was 12 Stargates on Earth. Right? And you can walk through the Stargate in Arizona and come out in the Stargate in Giza. You can go through the Stargate in Arizona, come out in the Stargate in the Himalayas. Right? And et cetera, et cetera. And what was the other question you asked?
And what's a good technique to know who you are?
Self-talk and breathing like a singer. The reason why you want to breathe like a singer, because you only using the top 2 chambers of the lungs. You need to get oxygen in all 4 chambers for them to all be activated for you to breathe, or what they call proper spiritual information transfer on the breath. Then the self-talk, you learn the art and science of self-talk. Your higher self can find answers that you can't find. Because your higher self is not restricted by the 3D universe. It can go get information from anywhere. And by you learning how you communicate with your higher consciousness, it tells you how your higher self is trying to answer the question that you asking of yourself to find.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it.
All right. Damn, man. I should have been promoting my Patreon, y'all. I'm surprised my mods ain't been hitting my Patreon up. All right. Let me show y'all all the videos that y'all been looking for on my channel. they are now going on my Patreon page because YouTube, for some reason, is bothering me. So, you know, there's always ways to get around it. And they are not coming off of YouTube. They're going straight on there. I'm using the video, not coming from connecting YouTube to Patreon. You can now upload your video straight to Patreon. So in case y'all looking for all my classics, because I've been getting a lot of hits from people saying, where's all my classics at? Well, it's like my Netflix. It's like a Netflix channel. If you're not subscribed to my Patreon, $5 a month. That's all it is. $5 a month. And I have over 5,000 videos or more between Sarnetta Studios and the HOK. And so here's some of them right here. This is the first one y'all might see until tomorrow when I start uploading more with Nepal taking on JJ 7000. This one right here, yes, it's Polite versus Captain Tazoriak. This is their first debate ever. I can't put it on YouTube because, you know, the clowns on YouTube will say, oh, you're promoting Polite. You know, the suckers, the sucker ass niggas. They will say stuff like that instead of looking at this is all classic history right here. So even, I think even Captain Tazoriak got this up on his channel, but they ain't gonna say nothing to Captain. They want to try to bother me and intimidate me, but they can't. It ain't gonna work. We got Polite versus Captain Tazoriak. This right here was in Philadelphia. If y'all didn't see this, this is the one where Captain went in. And his wife tried to stand up, and Captain put her butt right in check. That was crazy. So you'll see that. We got the Bethy, Hebrews. We got all of these. This is where all my videos is at, y'all. All right? They go Inky and going in with them. And guess what? This is where y'all find the debates that y'all didn't see either. Here you go. Jabari taking on 3 Hebrew Israelites. In case y'all didn't see that, that's up there on my Patreon. All right? We got Young Pharaoh going in. P. Diddy, the Bad Boy record label, cursed. Is he being set up like Bill and R. Kelly? Okay? I'm just showing y'all what we got up here. There's a lot of material up here, y'all. All right? This is my Patreon channel, and it's only $5 a month. And all the new debates will be up here. All the new stuff will be over here. I will also be going live on my Patreon when I know that it'd probably be a little controversial. Remember when I did that interview with Cynthia G? It's right here, y'all. Cynthia G. That interview was 2 hours and 30 minutes long. Cynthia G. Sarnetta goes one-on-one with Cynthia G. That's up there. Sarah Sukaseti and Sabir. That's their debate, part 2. And I can load up and go for more.
Wait, stop 1 second, King.
Yeah,
right there, Genesis, that's the debate.
Which
that
one?
was the one he was talking about? I thought it was okay.
See, that's Sabir Bey is not that person. So that's all I wanted to say. We'll talk about.
Who you talking about?
Some brother said, well, I'll let her say it. He said that he did a debate with SETI and something like that.
But who was it? Who was it, Genesis?
Anel Bay, something. Hold on.
Was it Sabir Bey?
No, it was not Sabir Bey.
It was, hold on, his name is
Brooklyn Intelligence.
Sharif Anel Bay. Sharif Anel.
Oh, you talking about Sharif? Brother,
did you have a debate with him and Sarnetta?
No, they never debated. Sharif debated Reggie. Brothers, he must have got it mixed up. But yeah. Sharif debated brother Reggie. That was Reggie's first debate.
Oh, okay, that was okay.
Yeah, and shout out to the brother. I'm not dissing him or anything. I was just trying to make it clear. You know. Anyway.
Garfield versus Gorilla Hebrew. This is where you see all the material. Oh man, Daniel Olive versus Battle Truth. The virgin birth. They did this too. The virgin birth. Did Jesus die for everybody or their sins? That's right there. Vocab Malone.
Hey, you got Nature Boy and all his wives doing their three.
Yeah, I got all of that. Everything is over here. All the stuff that YouTube don't want over there.
When we bust this pinata. Sorry, go ahead.
All right. So as you can see, all the stuff is over here in case y'all looking for me. Can y'all drop the link? All right, drop the link to the Patreon. That's what my brother's asking. Let me get the link, y'all. Let me drop the link to the Patreon page so that y'all can get ahead. First, let me finish showing y'all all the wealth over here.
You know you're not gonna be able to show everything. You have so much on here.
No, I am going to show everything. You got to pay for. You got to pay for
right here, King. You can't show everything on here.
I got you. I know. I'm just going to keep going down the line. Right here. I got all the stuff over here. And all the polites, even though y'all probably say polite, I got all that over here, y'all. All of that is over here.
Share.
Yeah, where's that at?
Right there. You just right there. No, you had it. Right. Go up right there.
Oh, yeah. I got all of it over here.
Hey, shout out to General SETI, by the way.
Yeah. Shout out to SETI.
I love that brother, man.
You remember this, Rod? Look at this one.
Hey, Sal, the weigh-in with Captain Tazariak and Polite.
No, this one.
That was a teaser.
Barrio Saze
the Patreon. I wanted to watch the real debate, and I was trying to scroll through your list, right, and I couldn't find it. But
Brother Jabari versus Rod Hayes. This is the first time they met up. It started off peaceful, but then it got into a little discussion. So, do you believe in the transatlantic slave trade? And where were we already? So that was Rod Hayes. You remember that, Rod?
Yeah.
Okay, that was an excellent one. Brother Jabari versus Sanchez, Flat Earth, Reality or Fiction. This was real good, though. Jabari versus Taz, the GOAT. Should Black Americans connect themselves to Africa? Taz was saying no. Crazy. See, so you just keep going down and you just hit this and load up more and more and just keep going more and more and more. So the more videos that I put up there, I would have to pay for bandwidth. That's all it is.
So is the debate that we're gonna do in 2 weeks, is that gonna be on here instead of on YouTube?
Yes, it will be up here. It's gonna be on here. But we're gonna do it live first. It's gonna be live first, but then we'll put it up there eventually. Because I'm gonna have to take it down.
You're still gonna do that debate, Genesis?
Yeah, that's next Saturday. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Okay.
Hit me up because I want you to see what I got.
Okay. Well, Genesis was sounding a little bit like a flat earther before Mr. Hayes leaves. Well, I didn't hear his take on flat earth. A little bit like a flat earther.
Yeah, so in short, I'm not a flat earther. I believe that we in a torsion field, and the shape of the earth is more like a torsion field than it is flat.
Okay. All right.
That makes sense.
For all those who want to subscribe to my Patreon page, why is it doing that? Let me do this. Hold on. Why is it not? Oh, okay. The first one is not good.
They say I'm biting your style. I'm not biting your style.
All right, there's the link for my Patreon. Damn, that ain't working.
We're gonna catch Genesis over there with the brother Sanchez elites. Well, are you connected with do you ever connect with Brother Sanchez, Mr. Hayes?
No, that's not gonna go too good.
See, I need to know what's going on. You never know what's happening out here.
My Patreon page is right there, and I'm making it affordable for everybody. $5 a month. You're gonna catch the up and coming debates that will not be on you. I'm talking about my paid debates will be on the Patreon. So you would want to come up here. It won't be automatically up here because I gotta get paid for that first. It might be up there about 2 or 3 months later. It will be up there. So y'all can see it over there. You know what I'm saying? But if you want it in real time, have your ass in the building like everybody else.
And when are we gonna see Rod Hayes get in the ring with somebody else?
I don't do debates. I did that shit when I was younger.
No, not a debate. How about a discussion?
Yeah, but that's what him and Jabari had. A nice discussion.
We need to see you get in there and beat up some of these people calling your information pseudo, these so-called scientists who don't really get out the box.
Well, let them know, Rod. Money talk, bullshit walk, man. Say it.
Money don't mean shit to me.
Yeah, I know I don't, because I said that to you on the phone, and you was like, I don't care about that. But the plot thickens, man.
Look, the plot might thicken, but I'm not here. Okay, so this is why I don't do debates. I want to make people understand this. In order to do debates, right, I have to go off somebody else's information to prove my point. Right? And most of the writings is under the control of secret societies when you start talking about before 1930s. Almost everybody writing before then was part of one of the brotherhoods, or else they didn't know how to read and write. Right? And so when you pulling up sources, like for instance, a good example is Albert Churchward is no longer recognized as an Egyptologist when he was one of the fathers of Egyptology.
Dr. Owens is saying you'll get it like Billy Carson. She said you'll get it like Billy Carson.
Yeah, or like Mike Tyson and Jake Paul.
Right. There you go.
See, people perception. We our people, the ones that look like us, we love some dramatic gossip.
You know it.
And so right now, if you've been watching Billy for a couple years and you go look at that debate, he not participating. Don't that sound familiar, sir?
Yeah.
He shouldn't have never took it as a debate if he wasn't going to participate.
Right. Because you know what, when I watched it, I couldn't believe it. The dude, the white boy, is asking him, yo, you've been teaching this for years, you've been teaching that. And then when Billy Carson tried to explain it, and then the white boy came on and he said everything that you are seizing, in other words, paraphrasing, you are wrong on this, you are wrong on that, you are wrong on this. And then he passed it to Billy Carson. The moderator said, well, what do you think about that, Billy Carson?
I'll let him have that.
Yeah, Billy Carson said, oh, well, you know, he probably right. You know, I don't know about, I'm like, what the hell? Everything that Billy Carson was teaching, he ended up backtracking off of everything. That's why the people said, I had to go see it for myself. That's why they were saying, damn, he killed Billy Carson. He ain't standing for nothing. He was teaching for years.
That's weird,
And Jake Paul beat the shit out of Mike Tyson. Come on now.
Do you think so?
No, he's saying the setup.
Oh. Well, no, when you say he beat him, what you mean by that, brother?
There's no way that the Mike Tyson that we know would have fought that fight and don't beat the bejesus out that kid in the first 30 seconds.
But nah, man. Mike is old now, man. He can't.
Don't make me pull up his training.
He had to bite his own gloves just to hold back.
No, let me show you his training video when he was. Oh my, no, come on, that man was.
So you think Mike threw the fight?
I don't think he took a dive for some other reasons that we can't be sure of.
He just wanted to get some money, and then he knew he was sick, so he was like, "I was sick. I wasn't fixing to put myself in this."
Yeah.
One of you know, Chief Pontiac is one of the guys, man. And Chief, one of the things you done said recently, if you go inside yourself, it was a Bible quote. You go inside yourself and you can look it up and you got to explain yourself. It's a lie. If you know the truth and the truth is what it is, how you gonna go inside something like the Bible? Okay, I'm supposed to go. You can explain yourself outside that. That's what history come in at. That's where real live witnesses and things like that of everything come in at. Right or wrong?
Yep.
So when you debating on it's white supremacy with inside science and history. So whoever I'm trying to get sources from, how you know he don't hate niggas? I'm gonna mute my mic.
I disagree with all of that, man. I disagree with all of that. There's a lot of people you get sources from that probably hate niggas or black people. So is the source right? All you do is do the fact checking with the source. Go check another source. Go check another source. And if they all saying the same thing, it don't matter about the color of the information. It's information, man. We should put color on the information. I don't give a damn if a Ku Klux Klanman comes with some direct sources and he showed the source.
I read their material too.
Yeah, what we gonna say? Nah, he's a Klansman. I ain't gonna take it. And for Nepal showing Mike Tyson working out in the gym, listen, that man is not trying to hit him back and hurt him.
I'm not saying it like that. I'm not saying it like that.
You won't even let me say what he's.
Mike been moving like that in the first round. The second and third round came, he slowed down. Mike is too old, man. I don't think if he win the fight, he get more money. Mike get way more money. If he lose the fight, you get a cut. You get something. But if you win, you get in the jackpot. You see what I'm saying? So
but
go ahead.
do you see the overall picture of him losing the fight, throwing the fight, of what that's telling one of our greats to my son that he want to box right now? Do you understand of him doing that? It's greater than money.
No, I don't think Mike.
Who I am as a person is greater than money.
No,
that's
I don't
what Rod
think
just said. Who I am is greater than money.
Nah, man. Mike is not going to go in there to lose a fight. Mike have a pride. The people was happy to see Mike Tyson. Mike came in there to win, and when he realized, you got to look at how old that white boy is. What, he 24, Nepal? How old was he?
He's 27, I think.
27? Mike is like, what? Come on.
Listen.
Why am I muted? Listen, I wanted to show something and speak. He did not come out fighting like this at all. He was slow. He had a little knee brace on. He barely moved. He wasn't doing this. Nope, none of that. And this isn't even the Mike Tyson at his prime, and he's moving quickly.
Nepal, if you look at the video, you'll see that that's an older video. That's not Mike Tyson. The Mike Tyson that got in the ring was flabby and chubby and sick. What are you talking about? That's right there. That video is an earlier video that you're showing right now.
All right, stop talking for 1 second, please. It was 2 weeks before the fight. So
that's what I told you. Go ahead.
Yeah, it wasn't old. It was 2 weeks before the fight.
Mike didn't look nothing like that. I'm talking about.
I'm gonna say it again. 2 weeks before, that was him moving. Now, so he was in there with. Why did he wear? First off, why did he wear that raggedy T-shirt, a knee brace? When he came out, he walked out by himself with that raggedy old T-shirt on. He's Mike Tyson. The whole thing was downplaying him, and if you notice, the commentators, they just talk negatively about him the entire fight. And don't think that doesn't influence judges and the crowd. They're like, oh, Mike is looking weak. Mike is looking hurt. And it was like, he didn't even come out. I'm going to show this one more time. This is him right before the fight, relatively before the fight. And even though it's a sparring session, he didn't even move like this. Look at that. Look
how fit Mike look right now?
He didn't do any of these moves. No,
nope. Fit like that in the ring. Why don't you go get the joint when he was in the ring? And you'll see what I said. That was an earlier goddamn sparring session.
What do you mean earlier? When you say earlier, what do you mean?
Meaning he did that a few years ago.
No, wrong.
Man, I just said
2 weeks before.
Listen, all you got to do is go.
I said 2 weeks before.
Yeah, go and get the video where he's in the ring with him.
But that was 2 weeks before.
No, man. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying, man.
No, you saying it's years before. It was 2 weeks before the fight.
That's what they told you. That's what I'm saying.
What do you mean? That's footage that's dated recently. See, that's why Rob.
They could have filmed it like way before that and then showed.
No, it was him training. Stop it. It was him training before the fight. There's tons of footage of him training before the fight. If you follow boxing, boxing, people who follow boxing know what I'm talking about. There's tons of footage of him sparring. He's quick. He's hitting hard. When he was in that ring, he's like, oh, I got a knee brace on. Oh, when. Like he's barely fighting. So what do you think, Rod? You know what I'm talking about. Let's hear from the guest.
All right, hold up before Rod go in, because I want to show Rod this so he don't make a mistake. Look at this right here, Rod. Look at this picture right here. Look at his stomach. Look at him. Now show that picture again, Nepal. Look how fit he looked. Look how skinny he looked. Look how small he looked. But now in the ring, look at him. Look at his gut. Look at his gut and all of that.
Yeah, but what about what? Don't forget to look at Paul.
Look at his face. Hold up. Stop for a minute. Look at his face. Look at the age on him.
I know, but look, can I speak now? I know you're going to. Okay. Yeah. He's not the only one looking old. Look at the 20-year-old.
You do have to like wait up. Though.
I'm going to say something, Genesis. It's hard for me to get a word in. Please give me a second. Look at the young guy, too. He looks about 45, 50. He looks even bigger. So how do we know this picture wasn't fixed up for both of them? The young guy, look at his face. Look how big the young guy looks. And his face looks old. So I know what I saw.
Weight when you're like doing a fight. If he's doing a heavyweight fight, they have to like be a certain weight. So he probably had to bulk up. That's probably why he was. Like,
nah. Come on, stop it. Cut it out. Okay. All right. Let Rod speak. Nepal want to know, what do you think, Rod?
His contract had so many restrictions on him. He can't fight under them conditions. You can't fight under them conditions. Look, I'm 56 years old, and I'm not in shape, and I would have put on a better performance as a former boxer if I would have got in half the shape Mike was getting into leading up to it. I would have put up a much better fight. Because I'm old and out of shape, I can't say I would have whooped a young guy, but I could tell you that the fight would not have been so one-sided. It's not possible. I mean, look at the Roy Jones situation. Right? Remember Roy Jones? When he was sparring with Roy Jones, Roy said everything Mike throw hurt.
Yeah, but how many years ago that was, though?
That was like 3 years ago.
4 or 5.
Even if it was 5 years ago, the thing is when Mike started training, you got to look at all of the stuff he was doing in training. Look at his sparring matches in training, because he wasn't just hitting the guy with the bag gloves.
All right. Now look at what Nepal showed. Now here's the actual goddamn fight. Look at how big Mike Tyson is to the video, and I want you to show that video again, Nepal, right after this. I don't want to play it because I don't want to get hit with a strike. So I'm going to just breeze on through it.
Oh, you won't get hit with the strike if you just do the commentary.
Okay, I just want to breeze on through it right quick. Look at him. Look at Mike. He ain't faking. See, he's moving. Look at him. He's slow.
Oh, my God. What is wrong with that? This is why I'm saying thank you for showing that. What? This is play.
No. Now, look at Mike's face. Look at his face. And look at Nepal. Put yours back up.
Let me show. You saw he's showing you this BS.
No, I want you to put what you had up.
Let's show him 2024 training. Somebody said that wasn't him. This is week 1 of him training.
Now go ahead, play it.
Now wait a minute. Hold on. Now that was the doctored crap. This is him training on an independent. This is independent from the fight. It's not on Netflix. And this is week 1 of him training for what's his name? Now let's see how he moves. Let's watch.
Nepal, you can clearly see that this is a total different Mike. Look at his body. Look at him.
Did you just hear what I just said, though?
Yeah.
Forget about, let's stop focusing on his body, because there is a element of truth what Genesis said. Heavyweights are bigger. Let's talk about his movement. Let's talk about his movement. This is him training for that fight. This is him sparring for that fight. Look at the difference in the movement of him just sparring. And then you look at him in the ring. It's like somebody's grandmama's in there. Watch this. Watch him. Let me get it. See? Look at the sparring. This is him sparring for that fight. We saw none of this. We saw none of this. Nothing. This is Mike at 57 years old.
You know, Nepal,
This
You
is
can
Mike.
you can look good outside the ring, but the minute you get in the ring, it's totally different.
We
It's
didn't
just
see any of
like
these moves.
like when you are practicing basketball with your team, but then when you actually get in the ring and play somebody, totally different. They're not gonna do what he's doing. That's pads don't
He's a
hit.
professional, and Paul just started fighting.
Pads don't hit back, right?
Can I also say that if you put a bunch of weight on yourself, like 20 more pounds,
Yeah,
all
when
that
he-
movement is way more restricted because you didn't.
When he got hit with them punches, he started backing up and feeling them punches. He's an old man now.
Okay,
Man,
well,
sorry,
that's
can I
Mike
say
Tyson.
something?
Yeah, look, real quick, and I'm gonna hand the mic over.
Man,
This isn't somebody
stop.
that just met. This is
it. I'm
Mike
talking about-
Tyson. This
Stop
is
it.
Iron Mike Tyson, and
I'm
that was
talking
a
about,
young man.
I've been competing.
And let me
I've
let
been
him talk.
competing and everything else. When you take a ironclad person, competitor, collegiate, whatever, however you want to put it up, Mike Tyson, and he still have the movement and everything else. He did not show that when he showed up with Jake Paul.
Show didn't.
Period.
Though, wait, let me say this too, brother, real quick. When men get weight, especially athletes, nothing changes with their legs. His belly is big right. Hold on. His belly is big right here. Wait, hold on, my friend.
I'm 46 years old.
Okay, I know you're 46. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. His belly is big. It's the legs that were supposed to keep him boxing. Now that's all I want to say. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. You were saying.
Listen. The man knows the trick of the trades. Jake Paul is not even an amateur. He is a bar. You can catch him fighting at the bar.
Yep.
Tough man contest.
Man, come on, man. Don't you know it's a gimmick? Everybody that he done fought, he fought one real fighter, which was Tony such and such. I forgot his last name, but he's the brother of the current champion. And he lost.
Look at Mike. And he's an older man, right?
Why don't you think this is a setup?
Heck
Everybody he done fought is over 45. Come on, man. Look at Mike. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just not that he may took the dive for the money, but it's what the people is looking at you, your people and the people, my kids. You is a great fighter, and you went out like that just for some money. Come on, man.
Mike said he didn't do it for the money. Mike said
he'll beat the brakes out of that dude. If then he want to bite his thumb. You can tell. You can see other clips where he held back. Third round, he only threw one punch.
Do anybody know how much Mike Tyson made for this fight?
20 million.
You sure it was 20?
20 million.
Yeah, 20 million.
Woo!
And he needed every dime. And you know what? From what I know about what I've seen in the media about Mike Tyson, he's not on that whole my people stuff. He is more like, whoever is with me, I'm gonna go with them. And I think Jake Paul showed him a lot of love, admiration, respect. Because don't forget, his dad used to be a huge fan of Mike Tyson.
That's right.
So I think it was about who he wanted to hand his legacy over to be real. That's what I think.
He gave him 10 million. He gave him an extra 10 million.
So he got 30.
I thought it was 6.
No, he gave him an extra 10 million with the bet that he won't last. He wouldn't last all the rounds.
Somebody said he's being sued for 2 million. Andre Paris said, I don't know what that's about.
Yeah. Jake Paul,
before we go.
All this is a gimmick, man.
Mike said he ain't take the fight for money. He said he just took the fight because he just liked the way it feel to get in the ring.
Well, Mike
20 million. I need that.
Yeah, he got
the 20.
Well, let me say this. Go ahead. Sorry.
For my legacy, and for those that's like me, that look like me, and I know I got money, I wouldn't have did that. I wouldn't have did it. Period.
You know, his trainer was it was like a guy like Mickey off Rocky. It was this I think he was Italian or Irish old white guy. That was his trainer. Like he looked up to him like a dad. From what I
yeah.
But
One
you
of
know
the
what?
coldest, one of the
What
coldest
people
trainers
say-
on earth.
People say things like that until they get in that situation. Number one, Mike is broke. Mike is toe up. He getting out of jail. He ain't got no
There you
money.
go.
But
He ain't got
hey,
no
hey,
money. Hold on, let me finish.
what
Let me
you
Man,
finish.
think
Mike
is
been out of
broke?
jail down there 20 years. What are you talking about,
Hey
son?
man,
Hold on,
Si,
hold
what
on,
you think
hold on,
that's
hold
broke
on,
to
hold on,
him? And
hold on, y'all, hold on.
it's
Mike,
not broke.
Mike ain't got no money, right? He's broke right now. Jake Paul comes to him. They have a conversation. Yo, Mike, listen. The only way Mike gonna get this money is through Jake Paul right now. Jake
Yep.
Paul is willing to put money in Mike's pocket. Come on, man. You got to give that brother credit for that. Give him.
Well, Si, I can go to this corner store right now on live stream, and I see Mike Tyson faces on wraps and everything else. He got a weed dispensary and everything, and he got a successful podcast and all of that. He
Mhm.
getting money. He getting revenue.
Ain't nothing going on but the rent, brother.
He getting paper. Hey, Si, he getting paper right now.
Mhm.
I'm talking about you gonna go and get Mike Tyson Rello wraps right now.
And they good
No,
ones too.
that shit was
You
closest
said-
to like
you
you know
said
how
Rolo?
the
You
ice
said
skaters
Rolo
be
wraps?
Olympians and then do Disney on ice.
You said Rolo wraps, brother?
Man, you can go get Rollo wraps
What is that?
right now.
Is that like a sandwich or what are you talking about?
It's a
No,
blunt. It's a blunt wrap.
weed.
Blunt wrap.
Oh,
And he
marijuana.
got a weed strain and everything.
Okay.
Oh, I was talking about that earlier.
So he getting back.
Talking about that earlier. Word.
Hey,
This
hey
this
Rod, have you ever got some Mike Tyson strain?
I ain't
No.
never had none of his trees, but I use his wraps.
But but he got them trees though, don't he?
Yep. He got a whole farm out there, a marijuana
Man, come
farm.
on, man. That man getting paid.
Mhm. All
He
right.
and you think, man, come on.
I wanted to ask Rod Hayes on that if I could. This is just a closing question, and even though this doesn't have to do with the Anunnaki, I want to see what your take is on just a brief answer. If you don't want to go in, Jay-Z situation tied into the Diddy situation. Where are you at with that?
I ain't touching that shit with a 10-foot pole.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, there it is.
Hey, one more. Hey,
But
Rob.
Hold on. Genesis, you were saying something. I cut you
hold
off.
on. I gotta say this.
Mike, I think he also got a nose job too. I think he didn't want to get his nose.
Oh, who got a nose job?
Mike Tyson.
Oh,
I think he got his
what?
bridge readjusted. You know, most boxers, when you really hard in boxing, your actual bridge, they have to take the bone out so it doesn't mess the thing. I think he got it readjusted. If you actually look at his nose, you'll see his bridge has been replaced.
Mm.
I don't know.
That's
All I know, broken noses are that is a nose
all right,
job.
everybody. No, we got to close out, Williams. I'm sorry, brother. Mr. Hayes, close us out. Thank you for coming again, once again, blessing and gracing the platform. Appreciate you, brother.
Always, brother. I appreciate you. Look, this is one thing y'all gotta look for. Every icon, everybody that we thought was so high and mighty, they coming down. If they was doing the dirt, they on video. And if they on video, they gonna be exposed. And if they exposed, they gonna fall. I don't care if they're a politician, an entertainer, if they a police officer, county sheriff, mayor of the city. If they was doing the dirt, everybody doing the dirt gonna fall. Whether they want to or not, they can't help it. Because the new age is coming in, and all of the ones that was allowed to run rampant and do the dirt they was doing, that all got to come to an end. And everything got to be revealed to the people, so it ain't no mistake about who was doing the dirt, what they was doing, why they was doing it, what you was doing there. It's all got to come out. And now we almost to ground zero of the massive exposure rollout, and all of these iconic figures are going to be removed from their iconic position because we have this tendency to worship people instead of realizing the God within, we honoring everybody else's expression of their inner deity. And some of them is some very unsavory characters with doing some unsavory acts.
Wow.
And
Let me ask you real quick, Rod, when you say that. Wait, Senator, real quick. When you say that, there are evil forces of people who will take people who are not evil, like Senator or you, and they'll say, go out and lie on them. And then they'll come out and say, see, we're exposing you. You're exposed. So what do you say about those that are cleverly trying to persecute people to keep the truth down or to tear down people? I want you to talk on that, because when they hear people say, oh, it's the year of exposure, they'll come in with the lie and say, well, see, Rod Hayes and Sonetter, they were exposed. Talk on that, though, how they're using that.
That's the gossip factory. The gossip factory requires one thing: juicy gossip. No truth have to be added to it. As long as it sounds like the juicy gossip, then that's what everybody gonna be so ooh and ah about the juicy gossip, right? So you have these people who believe that, like, for instance, if I was out here trying to deceive people, I at least would be trying to get some money for it. Right? I ain't out here trying to make no money. I accept donations if people choose to send it, but I don't solicit donations. Right? People have to ask me for my Cash App. I don't just come out here saying my Cash App. It's not posted on every video I do. I'm not doing this for money. I'm just trying to get the awareness to enough people for the system to shift back into the favor of the ones who's supposed to be running it. But we ain't running it. And it's just like you said, you got evil people sending naive people to tear down good people in order to keep the good people from getting the message out that their shenanigans is over.
Oh, man.
I mean, you ain't on the live yet.
Oh, no, I'm live. No, we live. We live right now.
It's not still normally show up on here, just say scheduled.
Damn, this.
There we go.
You got it?
Yeah, I got an echo and a delay too.
Okay. I'm an echo. Can you hear me good?
I'm echoing back.
Oh, yeah. We dealing with a few technical difficulties. Bear with us tonight, family. We gonna make it happen regardless. Don't know what's going on, but Rod Hayes, welcome back, my brother.
Thank you, brother Rich. Appreciate you having me back. As always, gratitude. First order of the day. The most unused superpower a man can.
Indeed. Listen, Rod, man. This is one of them shows. This is a real important one, Rod. This is pre-creation talk right here. This ain't American. This ain't African. This ain't Asian. This ain't Anunnaki. This is pre-solar system talk.
Pure metaphysics.
You know what I'm saying? This ether, man. Listen, this is some strong shit. This is the ether is what Nas used to destroy Hove in a rap battle. You know what I mean?
To make your soul burn slow.
Make your burn slow. Yes, sir. Very important topic tonight. I want to welcome everybody to the chat. Thank you for your patience, family. Thank you for your patience. It's just real good talk going into 2025, a 9-year. Y'all know about that 9 ether energy. And the talk was inspired. I had called Rod Hayes last week. And, I always call Rod Hayes just to chop it up with him about certain spiritual concepts. And I told Rod Hayes, and this is going to be the first book. I told y'all before, I'm doing book reviews on the channel. I think I'm going to start either next week or the week after next. And this is the first book that I'm doing the book review on. I think I'm going to do the book reviews every Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to see. But, the divine matrix deals with this mysterious force that has many names. In antiquity, Plato and them called the ether. Some people call it the quantum field. Greg Braden calls it the divine matrix. A lot of different names for this field, this invisible force, this invisible energy that's out there that permeates, contains, that's the bridge, and that is just the essence of the whole universe. Very, very mysterious force that a lot of scientists deny exists. A lot of, Tesla talked about it. As a matter of fact, let me say one of Tesla's quotes. If I have it on me right now, I don't know if I just had it. I don't. Yeah, Tesla actually said, their ether is the medium for every electromagnetic wave, from radio waves to gamma waves. So, when a lot of times I read things and sometimes I don't understand what the word means, and I just keep reading. Hold up. So I want to, because this is very important. So I want to let y'all know exactly what he meant by let me see. All right. So one of the definitions for medium is the intravenous substance through which impressions are conveyed to the senses, or force acts on objects at a distance. Then this is Oxford Dictionary. It says radio communication needs no physical medium between the two stations. That's what they're saying. This is Google. But Tesla
between the station and the receiver.
But Tesla's saying there is a medium. They just can't detect it. There is a medium that carries all waves. So, Rod, this mysterious medium, and let me just read this before we start. I want to give a nice intro. Let me read this before the start. Rod, this is this section is called The Origin of the Matrix. Let me read this. Then we're gonna get started, and we're gonna be cooking in here, family. Be patient. All right. Mainstream scientists today believe that our universe began between 13 and 20 billion years ago with a massive explosion unlike anything that had ever existed before or has existed since. Although there are conflicting theories about the precise timing and whether there were single or multiple explosions, there appears to be a general agreement that our universe began with a massive release of energy a long time ago. In 1951, astronomer Fred Hoyle coined the term for the infallible explosion that is still used today. He named it the Big Bang. Researchers have calculated that just fractions of a second before the Big Bang occurred, our universe was much, much smaller than it is today. Computer models suggest that it was so small, in fact, that it was tightly compressed into a tiny ball. With all the empty space removed from what we see as the universe today, that ball is to believe to be around the size of a single green pea. While it may have been tiny, it certainly wasn't cool. However, the model suggests that the temperature within the compact space was an unimaginable 18 billion million degrees Fahrenheit, many times hotter than the present temperature of the sun. Within a fraction of a second following the Big Bang, the simulations show that the temperatures may have cooled to a balmy 18 billion degrees or so, and the birth of our universe was well underway. I'm gonna read this last paragraph. As the Big Bang's explosive force ripped through the emptiness of the existing void, it carried with it more than just the heat and light that we expect. It also burst forth as a pattern of energy that became the blueprint for all that is now and all that can ever be. It's this pattern that the subject of ancient myth, timeless lore, and mystical wisdom, with names that range from the Buddhist sutras, net of Indra, to the Hopi tradition's web of spider grandmother, the echo of that pattern remains today. So when we think about net, when we talk about web, I think about the internet and how the internet connects us all together right now, as far as technology that we use externally. So if we have the internet that connects us all, the Ethernet connects us all in a whole nother way. Let's talk about the Big Bang. Let's talk about this Ethernet. Let's talk about Star Wars said the Force. May the Force be with you. Rod, you broke this shit down to me on the phone, Rod. So come on. Let's talk about this ether that's out there, my brother. Talk to me.
Okay, so you ever heard of something called orgone energy?
Yes, sir. Yep. Mm-hmm.
The original discoveries of orgone energy was something called an ether accumulator.
Okay.
You got what's called a clean accumulator. It comes through opaque, almost clear.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the dirty accumulator, and when it comes through, it's filled with soot, which gives it the appearance of being black. Right? So the ether of itself is like a aquatic field, right? So now we're using water as a frame of reference because water is the physical similitude of spirit.
What that word mean? Rob, what that word means? Similitude. What's that?
The meaning, the similarities in the two.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Right. So the physical representation of spirit is water. Because water permeates all things, and you can accumulate the water, but you can't keep the water trapped because it's going to always find its way back. Right. So this is taking something from a source, is showing you a metaphoric link,
right,
in cycles. As the water cycles, it goes through a water phase, gas phase. When it's frozen, it's in this solid phase. Right. When it becomes steam, it's a gas. But when you refine the steam even further, it's a vapor. A vapor is the mirror to what the ether is. Right. So remember when Obi-Wan told Luke, he said, the force, Luke, is neither good nor bad, but it is the intention applied that makes it so. Right. So that means that a person with good intentions can make a mistake and something good can come out of it. Because the intention that he started with was good. The person with ill will at the beginning can try to do something good, but it's going to go to crap because his intentions wasn't good. Right. So now you manipulating the ether. You determining by what's in you how you can move the ether to the good side or the bad side, or the positive and the negative, or the malevolent or the benevolent. Right. So now this brings in the Hermetic law opposites being applicable to the ether. Right. The poles, the law opposites. That means that the ether can be either of the extremes and everything in the middle. Just like the people, our character can be either of the extremes or can fall anywhere in the middle, but the goal is to always bump straight. I mean, don't get stuck to the left, don't get stuck to the right. Stop taking sides in other people's drama. Right? So as the ether accumulates, they told us at the Big Bang that it formed something called a pea-sized thing that they called the black dot. Right. Ironically, he didn't call it the black dot in the article, but it's a Scientific America article from the 90s that talk about it. What he's talking about. And it's showing you the model, and then it have what looked like a net coming out of the center of the Big Bang in a funnel-like shape, right? This is supposed to be the effect of the Big Bang. Right? So I say that's when they turned on the simulator. That's why do I say that? Because if you turn on the light, and sometimes you could actually see the spark that jumps out of the switch. Right. Just the spark have to make a connection, meaning that the loop got to be closed in order for it to cycle. Right. So the same way that they talk about it in science, Malachi wrote about it in the Holy Tablets. He said the dot became a line. The line was infinite until it decided to shift to an angle. Right. Once it shifted to an angle, this created the square from the dot. Okay. And then the square flipped the dot out on the other side, and now the circle is flipping out of the square, and the square is flipping out of the circle. Right at the same time. This is so in metaphysics, it's called flux flow between two-dimensional paradigms simultaneously. Right. That means it's phasing in and phasing out. Right. That's the flux flow. Remember the flux capacitor from Back to the Future was able to jump between parallels in order to it to triangulate into a position in the future.
Right. Wow. Right.
Right. So that's called the flux flow capacitor. Right. And the flux flow, if you're looking at it in the physical, it'll look like it disappears and reappears. But it never disappeared. It just went into an alternate reality, a different frequency of expressing itself. Right. So now you have what's called the octave scale, which mirrors the music scale.
Yes.
Right. This is the building blocks of what we call creational fabric. Right. Then they talk about how the dark matter permeates everything. Right. But the dark matter is no one thing. It's everything simultaneously all at once. Right. So they telling us the nature of dark matter. It's the same as the physical expression of water. So then in Egypt, it's referred to as the primordial waters or the primordial noon, N-U-N, where the term nuns came from.
Talk to him, Ron.
The great festival of the Catholic Church that was stolen from the matriarchs is the Dark Mother was supposed to sit on the sacerdotal seat, and she's supposed to wear black. And all of the nuns was supposed to be in white. Right. And then she officiates over the ceremony. And now where the women who wore the red, which represented the bloodline, has been replaced by some people they call cardinals. Now, all of these is just replacing the order that was already there with masculine gender and reassigning the roles of the nunnery. Right. So this is ancient. The nunnery is ancient, but the application of it today under the control of patriarchal homotesticles is new. Right. But it's all the primordial noon was expressed in the ritual where the women in white went to the Dark Mother, which represent Prime Creator, as the embodiment in the physical realm of those primordial noon. Right. And this is where you get your Isis seat as the sacerdotal seat. It's the Great Mother seat. Right. But she's subservient to Big Mama, Tawaret, who dwells in the sky, in the center of the zodiac. Right. So now you got Prime Creator, Tawaret, telling the Earth Mother, Isis, that we need the cleanup crew cleaning up. We looking at it through modernized religion, dogma, and social engineering programs used to steer how we perceive what's taking place. In the primordial ether, it's the closest thing that when the physical form, even more close than water, where I can explain it is like sound, a heavy bass sound. Right. So like when you in the club and you standing in front of the speaker and you feel that bass hitting all the way through your chest, that's the character of the ether. It's always there, pounding from the inside and the outside simultaneously. Right. It's permeating all things. I mean, everything is saturated with it. And even when you get down to the string theory, all particles is created from light.
Yes, sir.
Right. And then when you get to the Higgs boson, you realize that once the strings of light was tied up in the knots, you can generate matter, the God particle.
Wait, you said once the strings, now we're talking about these etheric strings was tied into knots, you can generate matter.
Right.
Rod, now, this No, I'm gonna take a note. Okay, Rod.
Yeah. So they replicated with the Hadron Collider in order to extract the Higgs boson. They have to collide two electrons together. Right. When they slam into each other, all of these other particles are produced as the byproduct of that collision, which simulates the Big Bang. When 2012, on December, I think 26th, they discovered a Higgs boson, right? Which tells them that this is the particle responsible for what we call density of matter.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at it under the microscope, it's still an electron and it still follows the laws of the string theory. Right. So the only answer is the explosion causes it to tie up into a knot. From the force and power of the explosion, it makes the light fold back in on itself, creating a piece of dense matter.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is why the 3D looks like it's fixed position of reality and we can't walk through walls, because the Higgs boson governs the law that separates things.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's like a pound of feathers and the 1 pound brick drop from 30,000 feet. Which one gonna hit the ground first? The only way that the brick hit the ground first is if the feathers are not contained. If the feathers are contained, like in a pillowcase, they'll hit at the same time because the weight is the same. The only thing that the feathers being in a larger container might experience more drag, which would give us the illusion that they fell at a different rate.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can compact the same amount of density of weight of feathers into the same space as a brick, they're going to both hit like a brick.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's the war of the butterfly. Butterfly fighting the dragon, and you need a trillion butterflies to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But he probably didn't tell him how many butterflies you're going to lose in the fight from the dragon. Right. So they use the Oregon accumulator to extract the ether and put it in a usable form, and they call it Oregon. And that is solidified ether.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Delbert Blair talks about what's called ore energy, which is primordial base energy. When you're looking at the pyramids, Rich, most of that stuff are metaphysical calculations of creation in some part of the creation or the other. Right. And you use the same methodology to reorganize the society based on the balancing of those equations. They real simple, but they complex. It's complex because we don't know what they mean, but it's simple in the message that they trying to relay. Where does this thing slide?
You good, Rod?
Yeah, my phone keeps sliding and trying to I got it. I think I got it this time. You keep sliding across this thing I got it propped up on.
Serious, please be quiet. All right, so Rod, so let me ask you this now. All right. When you mention the ether and you was comparing it to water, I thought about something that they when they talk about the cosmos, and the best representation they have of the cosmos is, let me show this.
Right, that's because the sacred 369. Remember, you brought up Tesla earlier.
Yeah.
You say when you understand the power of the 3, 6, and the 9, then you understand the fabric of the universe. Right. So when you look at it, all it is different directions of curls.
Right.
The 3, the 6, the 9.
That's deep. Just different direction of curls. That's deep.
Right.
Deep.
But this is all taken from, the Afro hairstyle is a representation of the uterus. Right. The energy field around the uterus represents the hair, and the uterus itself is represented by the face. It's a homage to the Great Mother. So you had tribes both over in the Americas, the old Mississippians especially, they had Afro chiefs that wore them big old afros so that they could be seen by the same way as the other tribes wore the war bonnet. When Tukey came down the street with his afro picked out, everybody knew from 4 blocks away that here come Tukey. You can't miss him. All you got to do is look for the muscles in the afro and you know it's him and his crew. Right? So the hair itself is showing you the expressions of the 369 by the curl. 9 ether being ether to the 9th power, the 9th power of 9. Which a lot of people said Malachi was insane until the scientists got a hold of the formula and applied it in a repeatable fashion, and then he wasn't so crazy. Now he had to go. So when you look at the hair follicles, also mimic the brain cells. When you looked at that the fabric of the universe is showing you the same fabric of the layout of the neurons in the brain. It's the same way that the hairs is laid out in the afro, right? And that's to facilitate a more entropy-free exchange of energy. It's the entropy that causes the decay, that causes the spiritual information to be lost in translation to the recipient of the information, right? And by tending properly to your hair, and no matter which form you use it in, if you hold it sacred, you will be able to use it as the sympathetic link to tune in to etheric fields. And the etheric field is going to always be based on your personal vibrational frequency, which will play out in your dream state. Because where you vibrate at in the physical, and when you bring that together with the mental paradigm of who you are, it'll give you a projection to understand spiritual things in the dream state. Right? So all of those things are interconnected. Just like the ether is everywhere. It connects all things, so all things are connected.
Right. You know, and Rod, ether, one of the things that moving forward with this channel, I want to continue to stress or continue to highlight is the fact that empty space is not empty. What we call empty space, and we all see empty space in our homes, and you know, when we go outside, you know, we see plenty of empty space, and you know, it's filled with ether. I want to ask you this, Rod. Let me ask you this. Let me see, because I could go in so many directions. All right, so they say the universe is like 90-something% empty space. They say our bodies is like 90-something% quote unquote empty space. Now, our homes, you know, this is like where we live. This is like our sanctuary. This is our castle. This is where we come to escape from the, you know, the stresses of the world. I think it's a very spiritual environment for all of us. Should our homes as well, Rod, because when goes into feng shui, should our homes as well represent 90-something% empty space in order for us to tap into this etheric energy? Because sometimes we may be cluttered and we have too much shit in our homes and we can't think straight. This is why some people don't like a lot of shit in their home, because this is like a direct reflection of not only the universe, but our bodies when it's 97% empty space and just a chair, a desk, a table, or this or that. Is this why it's supposed to be like that in the science of feng shui?
That's applicable to certain people. But you've seen people with a cluttered house with OCD where every single thing in their house got a designated spot and it got a lot of stuff in there.
Good point. Good point.
Spiritually, what's going on with those people is they spiritually in tune and they seeing everything they have spiritually and they building the physical representation in their environment. Right. And they're using the orderness, you know, because order is the first thing after the Big Bang, because chaos came and the order had to put everything in a designated place.
Right, right.
right? So even amidst what looked like chaos to everybody else, these people have the knack to be well organized in their chaos. Even if a lot of them be old Christian ladies. The irony of that is if they practice chaos magic, they would be the coldest.
Wow.
They're natural chaos magicians, taking chaos and creating order out of chaos. They problem solvers too.
Wow. That's deep. So let me ask you this. Earlier, you talked about you used the word intentions, right?